All right, so we are working on using multiplication and division for our inequality problems so that we can solve them. So Ling earns $15 per hour working at the zoo. We need to write and solve an inequality to determine the number of hours that she has to work in a week to earn at least $225. And then we're going to interpret the solution. Well, there's a few things that stand out. I see $15 per hour. That means for every hour that she works. So I'm going to put 15. I don't know how many hours she's working, right? So I'm just going to put a variable X. That's going to stand for the number of hours. So $15 per hour. X is going to stand for the hours. And she has to make at least $225. Well, if she has to make at least, I'm going to put 225. We want that amount to be greater than or equal to 25. So whatever she's making needs to be greater than or equal to 225. So now we have our inequality written out. We need to figure out how we're going to solve it. And this one is pretty straightforward because there's only one operation isolating that's preventing x from being isolated. So we see that we're multiplying x by 15. So in order for us to get rid of multiplication, we need to use division. So we're going to divide both sides by 15. By doing that, 15 divided by 15, we end up with 1x. So I'm just going to put an x down here. We'll bring our inequality sign down. And then we have 225 divided by 15. Well, I know that 15 times 15 is 225. So that answer is going to be 15. So what this tells me is that the number of hours that she works has to be greater than or equal to 15 in order for her to make at least $225. So if we wanted to graph it, this is what it would look like for our solution set. So we're going to have 0 here. We'll have our 15 over here. And x is going to be greater than or equal to 15. So greater than or equal. Remember, greater than means that the numbers are to the right, and less than means that the numbers are to the left of the number that you're talking about. So in this case, we're going to put our circle over 15 because that's what we were talking about. We're going to shade it in because it also can include 15. And all the values that will make this a true statement are going to be to the right of 15. So let's go back and check and just make sure that it does make sense. Well, what about 20? 20 is going to be like over here, right? So we can say 15 times 20 is greater than or equal to 225. Well, 15 times 2 is 30. And if I add a 0 behind that, then it becomes 300. So is 300 greater than or equal to 225? Yes. So this tells me that we did have the correct information here.